It's now time for my review of my only F1 weekend of the year, which happened at Spa. So let's go for the review. The weekend at Spa happened between the 20th and the 23rd of August. We had Formula 1 as main event, and as support event we had GP2, GP3 and Porsche Super Cup again. We arrived at Spa on Thursday morning. We didn't want to miss the pit lane walk. We were staying at the Young Village. It was the first year of what they call the Young Village, which is a camping site where everyone is not young, but it's pretty cheap. And we have the access of the concerts happening something like 100 meters away from our tents. And those concerts are not that bad, because on Saturday evening we had Bob Sinclair, which is kind of good actually, and it was really cheap for that. But the inconvenience is that it's 30 minutes away by walk from the closest entry of the track, which is at Eau Rouge, and it's again from this entry, it's again 30 minutes walk to the Young Zone, the Young Grandstand. I will talk about it later. From the Young Grandstand and the track. The camping was not as good as it was at Spielberg, and it's pretty much a shame, but I hope they will make it better for next year with better sanitaries, even if I don't really believe that. But I wish they could have a good access to electricity, which is clearly not existent at the Young Village. But otherwise it's a good atmosphere there, and I really recommend it to people who like partying and having a good atmosphere on track, and who are not particularly fans of GP2 or GP3, because otherwise you won't wake up early enough to get there. So on Thursday we went to the pit lane walk, and thanks to our privilege card we didn't have to queue a lot, and we stayed in front of the McLaren garage, in front of Fernando Alonso's one, and thankfully they were the first team to go out to sign the autographs. And even it's really madness when it comes to Fernando Alonso. Like, we've been crushed every time, and he only went out to sign autograph for something like 10 minutes, which is pretty much ridiculous. Anyway, I could see my childhood hero before my eyes at something like 2 meters away from me, so I'm kind of happy about that one. Otherwise, we are lucky to be fans of little teams, and because there are a lot of German there, because there were no German Grand Prix, they all came to Belgium, so they all went there for either Rosberg, but especially for Vettel. So we were supposed to go to Red Bull, but it was just impossible, because all the Ferrari, in front of Ferrari, it was impossible to cross to go to Red Bull or Mercedes or Williams. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame that we couldn't see Daniel Ricciardo, but anyway, it was also good. So we went back. We went down to the leader teams. We could see Romain Grosjean and had a little chat with him. I saw Roberto Merri, who signed my Jules Bianchi flag. We saw Marcus Ericsson. We saw Carlos Sainz Jr., who is really nice, by the way. And we also saw Will Stevens, who also signed my flag and we took a picture with. So it was really a good pit lane walk, way more productive than it was for me last year. So yeah, I'm really happy for my pit lane walk on Thursday. We were staying, as I said, at the Young Zone, which is called the 1727 Zone. What it is? It's a zone which is called in a bronze class. It's like something like 10 euros more expensive than bronze, but for the 10 euros you have grandstands and you have parking in 10 euros more than general admission. So it's really nice to have this. It's supposed to be the cheapest area for young people who can't like spend more and more things to go to silver to have grandstand, or even gold. I'm not even talking about gold. And the grandstand is situated at the Stavelot turn just before Blanchimont, so we could see the double right before Blanchimont. And it was a pretty good spot actually. We could see pretty much everything. But the problem is that it's really far from the F1 village where everything happens. As I said, it's 30 minutes walk from our grandstand to the F1 village, so that's why we missed a lot by going to the Gamezone in GP2. We missed maybe half of the FP3 in F1, and we missed Q1 also. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame that we're away from everything, but they can't, take the place of Eau Rouge and get them cheaper than they're supposed to be. So we're supposed to be at Blanchimont, and yeah, I won't complain about that one. The atmosphere there is really, really good because we had the DJs who were playing music when there was nothing on track, and it's so much more entertaining than anywhere else. And we also had the visit of Bob Sinclair on Saturday, which was clearly not expected at all. And yeah, that was really good. There was a really good atmosphere there with a lot. I'm thinking about a bunch of Belgian guys completely drunk, but they were doing anything with their little plushy sucettes, which is the translation of lollipop in English, the little crocodile, which became the mascot of our grandstands, and it was pretty much amazing there, really. But yeah, it's really too far from the Gamezone and too far from the F1 village, so it's a bit of a shame. Talking about the Gamezone, this is one of my highlights of the weekend, meeting the GP2 drivers. And I was so excited about finally meeting Pierre Gasly, because he's like one of my faves in GP2, and as I already saw my other fave in GP2, who happens to be Arthur Pic last year. I was really looking forward to meet Pierre Gasly, but he didn't show up at the Gamezone. So everyone was there for Stoffel van Dorn, basically. So I was like, okay, I'm not even trying with Stoffel van Dorn, I would try with all the drivers. And there were two drivers who were completely left alone, because otherwise we had Harriento and Rossi, who are like second and third in the championship, so there were people around them. Sirotkin, who already did good races. So there were two unknown drivers, but I knew their names. They were Shen Jalal and Robert Viz of ICU. So I asked them to come with me, and we just chatted for something like 10 minutes, which is completely unbelievable, like chatting for like 10 minutes with a driver. And there were a bunch of talk, really. It was really fantastic to be able to talk with them like that, to joke with them also, and it's really my highlight of the weekend, I think. So yeah, that was really good. Another highlight of my weekend has been the first race in GP2, because watching GP2 in Belgium with Stoffel van Dorn is the best thing I've ever seen live, actually. And even when you're not particularly a fan of Stoffel van Doorn, you just can't help but cheer for him when everyone around it is cheering for him. And it was just so amazing to see all these people singing the Belgian anthem and cheering for Stoffel van Doorn every time he passed by. It's just like amazing. And I was also really happy as a French girl because Arthur got his podium. Esteban Ocon got 2 podiums in GP3 and he was supposed to win the race on Saturday, but it didn't really happen like that. But yeah, I was just so happy. And also with Romain Grosjean's podium, I was like, just on top of the world really, to see that live. So I was really happy. Top 3, the flop 3 of F1 and GP2. Top 1 goes to Romain Grosjean, top 2 to Max Verstappen, and top 3 to Marcus Ericsson for F1. Still for F1, the flop 1 goes to Pirelli, the flop 2 to Williams, and the flop 3 to Felipe Nasser. In GP2, top 1 goes to Stoffel van Doorn, top 2 to Arthur Pic, and top 3 to Russian Time. Flop 1 goes to Pierre Gasly, flop 2 goes to Rio Harriento, and flop 3 goes to Oliver Roland. So I hope you enjoyed it. Now it's over for me, my motorsports year is over. I still don't know where I'll be next year. It will depend if my favorite driver still is in F3. It will also depend of Formula E, which is pretty in the middle of my exam week. So I hope I will be able to go to the Parisian E-Prix for Formula E. And otherwise I would go to London, I think, because I want to watch Formula E before my eyes one day. I think I will go to Spa next year, and it's not always pretty sure about it. And yeah, it will depend if I get accreditations or anything, but I won't talk about this area. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, and see you under the checkered flag.